see, my mind's a ghetto. I hold on to the pain and I refuse to let go. At one point I was king for a day. I had everyone in the palm of my hands, but they didn't stay. Mourning over something that I had that died, but I'm blaming myself because I'm never satisfied. I spend most of my life in my own company. I never wanted nothing, nobody got nothing from me. Time changes things, my brother joined the Marines. I knew a beautiful girl who became a fiend. I say a prayer for grace, sometimes I let my life go to waste, and I'm ashamed to look in my face. And every day has a different deception that it brings. Kings control money while things and money control kings, and I don't feel like nothing's left of me here. So excuse me while I disappear. Cause when you're alone, you think it lasts forever. And when you're in love, you think it lasts forever. And when you're alive, you think it lasts forever. But this really might be the last time we're all together. Cause nothing lasts forever. 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 Don't ever think you could change her. You never knew you were living with a stranger. Lies keep us filled. Truth could get you killed. The chickens are coming home to roost on the killing fields. Society's disconnected from each other, but in the palm of my hand I can juggle over a dozen lovers without consequence. The world is just a catalog and love no longer exists. If it can't evolve, we all grow farther apart by choice. Holding a phone all day without hearing one voice. I once cared too much, now I don't care at all. I tried to hold you up, now I'm just letting you fall. One day I'll make you all feel my pain worldwide. Since all my friends are dead, then tell me who's still alive. I remember all the times we had together, but shit, nothing lasts forever. Cause when you're alone, you think it lasts forever. And when you're in love, you think it lasts forever. And when you're alive, you think it lasts forever. But this really might be the last time we're all together. Cause nothing lasts forever. 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 Cause when you're alone, you think it lasts forever. And when you're in love, you think it lasts forever. And when you're alive, you think it lasts forever. But this really might be the last time we're all together. Cause nothing lasts forever. 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 Nothing lasts forever.
All right, that was Nothing Lasts Forever from the album Killed by Love by Daniel Jordan. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And this is the first Nothing Sacred interview with Daniel Jordan.
Daniel Jordan's willing to be a guinea pig, man.
Yeah, he's willing to do this for us first. Welcome to the interview, Daniel.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, man. Nice talking with you, Cruise Control, Max. Always good hearing from you. We've had some classic interviews of the past, and I'm excited to see what you guys got going on.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fucking great time, aren't we?
Hell yeah!
So, you know, here's the thing, man. It's funny because this album is way different than anything you've ever dropped, man. Obviously, you're mainly on the wicked shit usually, and I remember last time you talked to me, you said horrorcore artists would make some of the best counselors and social workers, man, and this is definitely true.
And it's funny. The reason I said that fucking is because basically because I didn't listen to. Actually, I should have listened to the track, and I apologize, but I didn't listen to that other track, so I assume that the non-cursing thing is kind of like an abnormality, or is that something that?
Yeah, to be honest, when I was writing this album, I didn't even really think about it. I went into a completely different direction with this album, but I didn't do it consciously. I was just listening to a lot of other kind of music, more mature kind of music. I was listening to Don Henley. I was listening to Bruce Springsteen and the Pixies and the Smiths, and I started writing similar to that kind of style where, it was just reflective. It was about life and relationships, and I found myself, I was going through those same kind of things, and that was the music that I would draw inspiration from. And then I noticed after I was laying down some of these songs, like, whoa, this is some, like, grown-up shit. Wow, I'm becoming an old white man.
Well, are you getting any criticism from any of your like really diehard fans that love the Wicked shit and love the horrorcore stuff you do?
You know what? I thought I would, but I haven't yet. Everyone's really taken to it really good, and it tripped me out because I knew by the time I was going to submit this album to be, mass produced and all that, I was like, wow, this is going to be polarizing. It's going to piss people off. That anyone that's known me has known I've been with Isham, who is basically the creator of the Wicked shit. Mm-hmm. I was with him for almost a decade, and people kind of got expectation of certain themes in music with, ultra violence and just dark, heavy, themes. So with this one, I knew that it would be completely different, but it was kind of like a rebirth of myself. I was shedding my old skin and kind of becoming comfortable in my new skin as an adult. Yeah. Coming into my 30s, I was a kid back in the day. Now that I'm past 30 now, it's just kind of me like becoming a man, and this is I'm becoming mature with the music and comfortable with it.
You know, it's funny coming from a perspective of I actually did not know. I mean, I think I might have been told. Shit, my fucking life. Sorry about that. I think I might have been told a little bit about what you did in the past, but I actually hadn't heard anything else from you. So listening to you, like, I just noticed it was really clean. It kind of brought me back to like not simplicity in the current hip hop. Whatever you want to say, genre way, but the kind of simplicity that kind of cleanly lets you say your message with clean beats and clear rhymes that are like for instance, there's a song later on that we're going to be playing that has a line in there where in one point basically it says that you're you rhyme did with kid, or it's in the everybody's been defeated, and you'll hear that later on. And that's like a very not necessarily predictable, but like you can kind of like, oh, that's what's coming. And then the next line, you mentioned something about your buddy, and I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do with this? And it was psychological study. I'm like, oh, so it's almost like you kind of hit him with something like that the people can kind of get, and then throw something at him that kind of throws them off a little bit, but it's still really clean. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Kind of smashing them over the head the second half of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And with that song, there's only 2 verses with it, but the song is really long. And the verses, they kind of just, they don't end in a sense. And what I want to do is just take you on a journey with me. Like you were riding in a car with me and we're driving across country. And that's what I wanted to do with the music. It has its peaks, it has its valleys. But at the end of it, I want you to feel like you just had sex, or you just did something like you just had a workout, where you need a cigarette at the end. You just witnessed some shit. You've been through something, an emotional journey to where, I want to bring people to the point of tears, to the point of laughter. I really want to get inside somebody's head and plant my flag and let them know that I'm inside of their head, because that's where I had to go to make that song. I had to go inside of my own head and my deepest and darkest feelings. And there's a lot of subliminal messages in there. I mean, I even talk about catching an STD in there, but I say it subliminally. And I didn't even know if I even wanted to even talk about that, in reality. I was like, maybe I shouldn't even say that ever in an interview, but let people figure it out. There's hidden shit in there, but it's all relative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of lines, the one line that really gets me is on Nothing Lasts Forever, where you said, holding on to a phone but never hearing a voice. Yeah. So, and it's so true, man. That's how the society's going,
Yes. And, man, this girl asked me about one of the lines from that song the other night, and she wanted me to break it down about, in the palm of my hand, I can juggle over a dozen lovers. And she was like, what do you mean right there? And what I'm talking about is technology, and how, technology is bringing us all closer together. We can all connect, but I think it's pushing us all apart nowadays. I feel like relationships aren't as sacred anymore, because everyone has an opportunity to stray. While this guy, he might be with a girl. Well, he has 12 other side bitches in his phone that he's juggling while he's got his girlfriend. And I think that technology is doing us a lot of harm. It's doing us more harm than good, and I think we're in a lot of trouble down this path we're going, and that's what I'm touching on with that song.
Yeah,
it kind of it does make sense with that, especially with the idea that, like, and that's kind of the problem is that people know, or at least they believe, that nothing lasts forever. So why bother investing anything either? So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, in that, you know, hey, nothing lasts forever, so I'm just going to treat you like shit. So therefore, guess what? Nothing's going to last forever because no one's going to commit to anything. Because that ideal that there's always something new around the corner to take its place is really taken over. There's no permanency, or people that really take, like, really. And that's kind of what I got from that song too. It's almost like, you know, hey, there's something new around the corner. I can do that too. You know, juggling 12 chicks. Oh, you're not going to come with me tonight? So I got 4 other options. You know.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, with that song, man, that song it's really personal on many levels, because I had to take a look at my life and evaluate it. The night I wrote that song and recorded it, my mom, I found out my mom had cervical cancer that night.
Shit.
And it was a really dark day, man. When she told me that shit, I didn't even know what to say. She sent me a text, and I was just in my apartment by myself, and man, it was one of the darkest moments of my life, and that's when I made that song. And what I did was I just reflected on my life, what I'm doing, my faults, and I made a whole song about it, and I threw little bits and pieces of everything about there. Like I say in the second verse, nothing lasts forever. Don't ever think you can change her. You never knew you were living with a stranger. I'm talking about, I was married, you know, like me and my wife, like we started growing apart, and I felt like I was waking up next to a stranger after a while. And then some shady shit happened, like with her, that she did. And it's like, who are you? You know, so I was just going through bits and pieces of just my life on this earth, and just seeing how strange it is. And man, you just never know, man. Nothing lasts forever. You feel like you could truly know someone, but then, man, when the going gets tough, man, people can turn coat, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let me ask you this, man. How is your mom doing now? Is she going for treatment, or what's happening?
She's doing better, man. She got surgery. She got a hysterectomy. She got whatever it was cut out, so she's good. But the way I see it, man, you know, over the last 5 years, I've lost 5 family members to cancer, you know, and it sucks, but, like, you know, I'm not the only one. A lot of people have gone through that, and I know family members that have battled it 2 or 3 times before it ultimately took them, you know. So, like, you can only, you know, cheat death for so long, but if that's how you're going to go, that's just how it is, you know. We're just buying time on this earth, you know. You might be able to get treated, but how many years will that give you?
It's kind of the sad part too, though, is that we have limited time on this earth, so you got to cherish what you have and stop treating like, oh well, it's just gonna, you know, stop throwing shit away too. So it's kind of like nothing lasts forever. So nothing lasts forever. So enjoy the things you have and don't treat them like they're gonna be gone. You know. Yeah,
exactly.
Don't treat them like you can throw them away. That you can just say, oh, there's something new on the horizon. So.
Yeah, but in a way, with that chorus, I was, you know, trying to celebrate the time that we have. You know, celebrate life in there. You know, nothing lasts forever. This really might be the last time we're all together. So, you know, while everything is temporary, let's just take a minute. You know, take a minute away from our phones, take a minute away from our hectic schedules, and just enjoy what we got, you know, right next to us, right in front of us. I enjoy watching my son grow, you know, so sometimes you just got to take a minute, unplug from everything, and just appreciate what's in front of you.
Yeah, no, that's true. You know, even before I go to bed, man, sometimes I'll just take 15 minutes and, you know, no computer, no phone, no nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, you kind of need that to sort of cleanse and get a little perspective, you know.
Absolutely. Because all this shit, like, through, you know, our phones, through the television, all that, none of that shit's real, man. It's just what's out there. What's real is what's in front of you every day. And people forget about that sometimes because they're so caught up in all this other shit.
Well, they're distracted, and they're also they disconnect from people because people become images on a screen and pixels on their screen, and they lose connection that these are actually real people. And of course, what they're showing you is not actually who they are, because the things you see on Facebook, all that shit, that's just what people want you to see. I'm not gonna want my fucking, you know, the picture of me waking up in the morning, or all fucked up or whatever after a night or whatever, or you don't have the pictures of the fucking girlfriend and boyfriend fucking fighting. You know, it's always the picture of them loving each other. So you have these fucked up ideas, so you lose track of who people really are.
Yeah, exactly. And after you're dead, all that shit's still going to be there, and it's going to go on without you. But you know, when you're gone in the physical being, man, there's no coming back from that. and the people that will be affected by it ain't going to be this whole internet. What it'll be is the people that are involved in your life on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, and to show you that it's not real, I mean, fuck, you see Facebook pages of people that are dead, you know, and they still have family members going in there and you know, running them, or people posting on them, and you're just going, hey, this isn't right, man. Something's off here, you know?
Yeah,
so.
That shit kind of weirds me out, you know? I mean, for the past, like, however many years I've had a Facebook page, I've had many friends that have passed on, and it's crazy seeing, you know, family members update their statuses and this and that, and it's almost like kind of like cheating their friends, like that person's still there, you know?
Yeah, well, or their birthday comes up. That's the thing that fucks me up the most, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's also like a way for them, people like to ignore the fact that they're gone, because these people are no longer there, but they see their Facebook posts, and they're like, and it kind of lessens the impact of them actually being gone, because when they're gone, I mean, that impact should be there if it's someone you care about. So I can understand once in a while after, like on Facebook, for example, there's a person who posts every once in a while under her name saying, you know, thank you for the wishes, you know, for my family, because he didn't have a Facebook account himself, so he was posting through, and that was good. But like, there's people that still will post on my dad. My dad passed away, and for some reason they won't remove his Facebook, and people still post on shit like that on his birthday, and I'm like, it's kind of, I don't like.
I mean, that's
kind of creepy.
That is kind of his legacy now, though. Like, maybe that's how, you know, people, that's the relationship they have with him now.
I guess that's true. That's a good point.
I actually, yesterday, it's a trip yesterday, I don't know, I stumbled upon one of my friends who died like 5 years ago on her Facebook page. You know, I haven't seen her Facebook page in years. And then I was going through her pictures, and I was like, wow, this is the relationship that I have with this person now. Now that they're not gone, they're still alive through these images, though. You know, it was kind of a trip, and I kind of tricked myself into believing that this person was still alive for that moment. Like, oh, you know, maybe I'll hit her up and see what's up or whatever. And it's like, wait, she's gone, man, but she looks so alive in all her images. It's a trip.
Yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. The technology. It's like in some ways it's terrible, but in some ways it allows you to do that. So, yeah.
Well, and yeah, you're right. You wonder if that's a good thing or bad thing. Like, well, you know, in one way you can still remember the person, but in the other way you're going, well, shit. You know, like you said, you try to hit her up and you're going, wait a minute. You know, they're not alive. They're going to answer back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and man, it deceives you. It tricks you. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's never a bad thing, but it's just how we use it. We can use it for bad things. You know what I mean? True. Like, it's all in how you use it. You can still do all that, but just, you know, what I'm trying to get across is, you know, still appreciate what's in front of you, still appreciate the people that are around you. And when I do that song at shows now, I'll take a minute, I'll talk about it, and I'll say, look, man, this might be the, you know, this time next year, some of you might not even be here. This might be the last time that we're all in the same room together. And it's a trip when you think about it, you know?
Right, exactly. Well, it just goes to show you, you know, I mean, I think you had said, I read another interview with you at one point, and you said the wicked shit is always sort of an element of you, but at the same time, now you're coming at it from an adult perspective. So, you know, which is, you're kind of branching out, where a lot of these horrorcore guys, they just stay there, and all they talk about is fucking dead corpses and devil worship, and, you know, they don't evolve, you know? Where you evolve.
And I mean, that's all fine and dandy. Reminds me of that movie Boogie Nights, when Burt Reynolds is all talking to Dirk Diggler right after he picks him up from that club, and he's like, you know, you know, everybody loves making smut films. Everybody sucks, but you got the big tits, you know, but I want to make something that goes outside of that, something that's right and pure, you know, and we can still have all those fucking parties with the big tits and the tits and all that, but like, you know, if you're an artist, you want to evolve and you want to make something that is pure. And that's what a true artist is, a creator. And, you know, maybe one day I'll go back to all the fucking around and, you know, I'll fuck some dead bodies and, you know, kill a million people on the song, you know, but right now I felt like it was just a time to express myself and just where I'm at in my life at this moment, you know?
Yeah, I definitely... sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, any new stuff that you're working on right now after this, or you have any plans for anything new?
Actually, I had a punk band back in the Bay Area about 10 years ago, and right before I dropped this album, they hit me up, and they've still been practicing and making, like, songs, but without a vocalist. So they sent me
Oh.
about 5 tracks of just instrumental beats, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I might just do a punk album on like some body count shit. You know?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think,
yeah.
I think that's the next avenue. So we'll see.
All right, well, let's go. Why don't we go on to the next song? What do you think? Either we got a choice between I'm Not the One or Turn My Whole World Around. What do you guys think's next on the agenda?
I'm Not the One. Let's do that one.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
that's a good
actually
one.
a good one. Yeah, I like the I can relate to that one just because of the expectations. So we'll talk about the song afterwards. Once again, coming up now, it's I'm Not the One from Daniel Jordan's album Killed by Love. We'll be back in just a few on the Nothing Sacred interview with Daniel
Yeah,
Jordan.
bitches.
I'm not the one, baby, it ain't me. I'm not the person you expect me to be. I won't lay down and let you run my life. I won't take you to the courthouse and make you my wife. I won't chase you down if you decide to run. I won't wait all night for you to come, 'cause I ain't the one. I ain't the one. I saw you glancing at the man sitting across the bar. I left you where you were and then I drove away in my car. I didn't cause a scene 'cause I don't wanna fight, and I knew I'd never see you again after tonight. And I never looked back, I never called you again. I ignored your texts and I was gone with the wind. I threw away all the things that we could have become, like I was looking for a reason to run. 'Cause I ain't the one. I ain't the one. I find comfort in the pain in my heart when it aches, like I'm a glutton for the punishment I feel when it breaks. The pain is defining, a lot of things get done when I'm broken hearted, mourning the loss of someone. I got a bulletproof heart, deep down I'll never love her. I'm addicted to the pain that I feel when I suffer. I'm not the one, baby, it ain't me. I'm not the person you expect me to be. I won't lay down and let you run my life. I won't take you to the courthouse and make you my wife. I won't chase you down if you decide to run. I won't wait all night for you to come, 'cause I ain't the one. I ain't the one. I played with your heart like it's my own little toy, because today, that's the only way that I find joy. Don't ever love me. You should run when you see me, because I'll drive you so crazy that I'll force you to leave me. I'll make you never forget me, but to me you're all the same. I wanna hurt everybody I meet. You see, it's a game. I know you want me, but you could never have me. And you could thank one person for hurting me so badly. My heart is made of stone, and to me it's all in fun, and I'm better off left alone. 'Cause I ain't the one. 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 I'm not the one, baby, it ain't me. I'm not the person you expect me to be. I won't lay down and let you run my life. I won't take you to the courthouse and make you my wife. I won't chase you down if you decide to run. I won't wait all night for you to come, 'cause I ain't the one. I ain't the one.
Okay, that was I'm Not the One from Killed by Love by Daniel Jordan. So I totally dig that song. We're back here on the Nothing Sacred interview. And with Daniel Jordan, got Maxwell in the house. And
Yes.
Daniel's still there. So I like this song because of just the realness of just the idea, like, because to me this is what the song means to me, what I got out of the song, and this is like a big thing for me, is that some chick, some woman having some ideal and some romantic idea of who you are and placing that ideal on you regardless of who you really are is almost like I'm not the one, I'm not who you think I am, I'm not your little fantasy, I'm not what you want me to be, I'm who I am, and you're either going to accept that or you're going to get the fuck out, right? Is that kind of where you're coming from with that?
That's exactly where I'm coming from. That song was mainly a defense mechanism, to put it out there like, you can't hurt me. I've been hurt so many times, and I've been fucked over so many times that no matter what you do, it won't affect me. In a way, though, I'm just putting that out there because I am vulnerable. So by being vulnerable as a way to kind of overcompensate for it, you have to use defense mechanisms sometimes, and I'll dump you first as a preemptive strike to let you know that I don't care. It's a song about being really cold and being really callous, and that's not always who I am, but sometimes you have to be cold as a way to hang on to your dignity.
Yep.
Well, and too, like right after a breakup, I know because I went through one about 4 or 5 years ago, and a lot of guys give you the stupid advice of, oh, just get pussy. It'll take your mind off the girl you're worried about and that you're in love with, and it's actually worse because you actually wind up hurting a lot of people by doing that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you become that guy.
And there is a huge double-edged sword with that. And right now I'm at a point in my life where I can just have a different woman every night, and I'm just so emotionally detached right now that it's okay. But the double-edged sword in that is this. You start feeling like something's wrong with you, that you can't connect with people, that you have all these one-night stands, and you start feeling like, just like a woman feels like a whore, you start feeling like a whore, and then you're hurting people's feelings, and then you have to deal with that guilt. And it's a dangerous game out there, man. It's really dangerous. And, I'm still hurting. I'm still breaking hearts, unfortunately, and I feel bad about it a lot of times. But what can I do? I've had my heart broken many times. This is just a game of love. But, man, playing with hearts, man, it's love is the most dangerous drug on earth, And got it.
And as a matter of fact, I just saw a question posted today on this website that I go on, and the guy said, what's the easiest way or what's the best way to deal with a bad breakup or something like that? Mm-hmm. And fuck, man, I mean, the only thing I could possibly say is there is no real way. I mean, every other drug, you're right, there's, medicines and things to wean you off of it and all this other crazy shit. But love, oh, fuck, dude, you just have to lay there and just take the pain, really.
Yeah. And I'll tell you the best way I've dealt with a broken heart, and shit, I still get them, man. I got 2 broken hearts last year, man, like horrible ones. What I did was I just focused on positive things and doing productive things. Like, I'm in school now, and I just focused on kicking ass in school and getting straight A's every semester. I focused on writing this album, so everything that I felt like I needed to say, I just put in the music. But if I find myself, doing productive things, exercising, making sure that my mind, body, and spirit is all good, that helps me get over it. Now, it doesn't solve the problem, but what it does is it keeps me busy so I'm not just sitting at home smoking, drinking, and feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah, and I think it's for me, and going back to what Max is kind of saying is, because there's always, usually with relationships, one heart is broken more than the other one is. The heart doesn't break evenly. There's one person getting more devastated than the other person is. Sometimes unbelievably so, like where one person just doesn't give a shit while the other one's just completely screwed. So my idea is like if you're gonna like jump into that, like, oh, I gotta have all these people, but you don't know what you're doing to other people, but then again, you might be doing the same thing to yourself at some point. So there's no reason not to be cautious, because it can be. It's like if you're getting with somebody and you break up with them or something like that, it's almost like they're dead but they're still alive. So it's not an easy thing to get over for some people. So why not be cautious about it? People are like, oh, don't be. It's like, I I don't know, man. It's better to be cautious than to have your shit handed to you when you know better. Because sometimes you do. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, oh, this ain't gonna be that way, and you get those rose-colored glasses on, and then you just get slammed because you just want something else than what's really there, and that happens to the other person too. So it's better just to be fucking, hey, I'm not the one, girl. I'm not the one. You think I am, but I'm not because I don't feel the same way about you, and I don't want to hurt you either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you also have to weigh in the other variables. For example, like I hung out with this one girl one night, and she told me she was single, so it was all good. I went to her place. I mean, she's got her own place, and I get a message on Facebook like a few days later saying, "Hey, when were you hanging out with this girl? I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to see if we were hanging out with her at the same time." I'm like, "What?" And it turns out that's her like ex-boyfriend or whatever, feeling all upset, feeling a certain way. He went through her phone and saw that she was messaging me, and then it's like, man, I was just like enjoying myself, but you don't even weigh in these other factors that you're fucking up other people, you know, not even realizing it. It's like I didn't say nothing to this dude, but I wanted to just talk some sense to him. Like, you know, just get real, man. This chick's obviously a hoe. Don't worry about her. You're just gonna hurt yourself, and don't do nothing stupid, because these chicks and guys, we're all gonna be hoes, especially with, like I say, nothing lasts forever. This technology handy. You know, everyone's trying to stray and looking to trade up, looking for a better deal always. You know, so it's dangerous, and you're hurting a lot of people. Not only are you hurting that girl, because I cut her off, I probably broke her heart, but you know, she broke someone else's heart. In order for that to happen, you know, and it doesn't stop.
And it's funny how you said before, like no one would say to you, oh, well, you're sticking this knife into me, it kills me, it hurts. Oh, well, you're not tough, you need to fucking toughen up. Oh, well, you're ripping holes in my skin and I'm bleeding out to death. But everyone else always tells you got to toughen up in terms of relationships when the same kind of shit happens. It's like, hey, no, I'm just a person, you know, so I'm going to be defensive. So, hey, I'm not going to be fucking stupid about it. I'm not going to be, you know, oh, it's love, jump in and just let's see what happens. Sometimes, man, it's like, no.
Yeah.
No. And when you're not in that person's shoes, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say toughen up, get right, get real. But when you're not in that person's shoes, you don't relate to that. But when you have been in that person's shoes, you sit there and think for a minute, like, man, there was one time I was tripping about, like, when my ex-wife started seeing a new guy, and it was killing me. And I'm so far removed from that, but, man, like, that guy's probably going through that same thing. So I had to cut that chick off. I was just like, look, I didn't know that this was what was going on, and you're fucked up for doing that, but whatever. And fuck, man, like the best thing, my brother's going through it right now. My brother in the Marine Corps, he's got this girl that's playing with his emotions, and I tell him, you know, you might not be able to see it right now, but the best thing for you is time and distance. Keep your distance from the chick, and time will heal it eventually. As much as people say, well, yeah, everyone says time heals all wounds, it really does. But you just got to be able to make it through it.
Yeah. Well, and then when you do fall in love again, you know, it's just going to catch you so by surprise. You're just going to, that other person will be wiped out. But it takes time, man. You have to get over and deal with some of the present shit. You know, you can't just push it aside.
It's like my mountain analogy, man. Like, while you're in a relationship, while you're in the midst of that shit, you're on the mountain. You're either going up the side of the mountain or you're falling down the other side of the mountain. And so when you look back behind you, all you see is that mountain until you start climbing another one. So sometimes you got to get out of the shadow of that mountain before you can actually start climbing the other one. So, so it's kind of the same thing. Like that's we were talking about jumping into other things before. Sometimes you just got to be like, all right, I'm just stepping back from this because I've been that. Is it long distance relationship with your bro? Not to get too specific, but. Yeah, so that's the thing. Long distance, man. Those things, that technology, you think it's a dangerous
and
thing. This
honestly, listening to this album, you know, when I read up on it, I'm like, oh shit, you know, this sounds like what I was going through a couple of years ago. So, you know, I was able to relate very well to what I was hearing, you know, and I'm like, fuck, you know, this is pretty major.
Yeah, man, because that's all just field research right there, man. I'm just doing a research study in the form of an album. And this is everything that I've taken from that and just made music out of because I lived that shit. Everything I say in that album is true. This is like the first time I made an album where I don't embellish anything. Everything I say on there fucking happened. And it's a trip to be that honest. But it's like people, they know it, though, because they're going through it or they've been through it. And they can relate to it.
Did you even make a comment or one of the lines in your album? You said something about just click the button and you can buy all the pain I've been hoarding.
Yeah, that's about, man, like buying my album online. Like, there you go. Like, that's my pain, dude. That's my reality. And you just purchased it, you know, and that's my job is to sell that to you. So in a way, I blame you, though, for making you feel my pain. I blame you for being a consumer, that I have to give you this shit. But that's just my way of saying, like, here's my pain. You can buy it.
Yeah. Well, but I don't think that this isn't a marketing ploy for you. This is like you just felt this way and said, shit, this is what I'm going to make, and hopefully they like it, you know?
Totally. And in a way, I'm putting that out there like I hope it does get bought, you know, because this is something I really went through, and I feel like I'm sharing something so personal and so real with me, and here, enjoy it. I'm not mad at you for buying it. No, hell no. I'm not mad at anyone for buying it. But it's kind of like when you're taking this, when you're taking this album, you're taking the responsibility of this album. Because there's a responsibility as a listener, because I'm taking you into my world. And after you've been into my world, it's like, all right, you know me a little too much now. You know what I mean? So
right.
There's a responsibility. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to be a fan of mine. You know, you got to really you got to do your part. It's a two-way street.
I think, yeah, and I think it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, how the album there's a market for. It seems like, okay, the way if people go quote unquote mainstream. I'm not saying this is necessarily mainstream because it has it's more of like an old school feel to me in a lot of ways, mixed with new school. But people want that. And what mostly people do nowadays, they sell out and they go for that, oh yeah, dancing in the club, going up to the, that kind of thing. While there's really a market for clean philosophical rap that actually says something that can be understood, and it's not about going to the club or getting your hose and your chains, or it's not even about the horrorcore, whatever. It's simply about like just discussing like how you're feeling and shit. And no one does that anymore. So it's actually there is a large market of people that will listen to this more than they would listen to other shit.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It's funny. You never thought that positivity would be getting
not necessarily positivity. Introspection is the word, because a lot of shit's not really positive. It's just introspective, making you go, okay. So he's talking about real shit and not talking about like stuff to like glossing stuff over, like I got all these bitches over here, I got all this shit over here, or even like fucking that corpse inside the face.
That's because the record industry is so afraid to invest in anything that goes outside of the box right now.
It's broken.
And it's been like that for like the last decade or so because of just digital downloads and this and that. All these record labels are going extinct. Jive isn't around. Arist is gone. Every other big label is just merged together under Universal. Pretty much.
And because artists like yourself can go, I want to make what I want to make, and whoever's going to get it is going to enjoy it and like it. I'm going to build my audience that way instead of what these corporations say. We're going to tell you what to listen to. They can't do that anymore.
There's a freedom. There's a freedom in doing that. A freedom in being able to tell these labels to fuck off. There was a time a few years back that I had a major contract offer from Universal. And they laid it all out to me, and it was such a slave deal, too, where I ended up with 3% of, 100%, basically.
Oh,
the label and the management, they got everything. And then they would dictate the music that I made, and then they dictated when it would get put out. And I was like, you know what? It'd be nice to be on a big label, but, I want the freedom as an artist. If I don't make $1 million, it doesn't matter. At least I'm staying true to myself, and I get to own my music. And nobody else is in control of it. And that, to me, that's the most important. And these labels, they find a quick buck real quick. They're going to the well one too many times, though, and the well's poisoned. This bullshit music that's coming out these days where everything sounds like a damn commercial. And they don't want to invest in real shit, and I understand that. And eventually, all these labels are going to have to go the way of the dodo, and the independent enterprise will be stronger than the major labels one day, eventually. And then you'll see more of this real shit because the radio stations, the TV shows, they won't have any choice but to work with these artists.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, and they're losing their foothold, and you can see it through, like, what was that thing that came a few years, SOPA or whatever it was called? The internet. You know, so a lot of these things are, you know, the record labels now trying to fight the internet, man. They're actually trying to fight this shit,
and they're going to lose. They're going to spend all this money to try and fight an unwinnable battle because they can't. How are you going to sue everyone that took something for free or file shared or whatever? It's impossible. So you could spend all this money, but you're going to end up going broke trying to do it. You might as well just find ways around it. And they're trying to with like Spotify, and they're finding ways to monetize YouTube, but it's still not enough. Eventually these labels they will die because of their greed.
And it's kind of great too in my opinion that all the people that are, you know, because you can make music on your own independently without having to go to a studio like you used to. I mean, I remember Max when we used to do shit where it cost $700, $800 a fucking pop.
God, yes. You drive to the studio and you pay 5 hours of time, and it was fucking insane.
And now all the studios have to offer that we don't are all the techniques like auto-tune and all these other shit that nobody fucking wants who wants music. Mm-hmm. So the people that don't want that are going to go to the people that don't actually have to make it anyways. So
and all that stuff can be done in-house now. I mean, when I started making music, almost 20 years ago, you had to go to a studio until, like, you know, I got Wise and I got an 8-track that sounded good enough, and and when you're good with, you know, it's not about the equipment you have, it's about the person behind it. So you can kind of make your stuff sound like that. But then when Pro Tools came out, it completely changed the game. Unfortunately, I've seen many studios close because of that, and it sucks because that's a piece of music history that's going away. But it also makes it very convenient for an artist. Like, man, I did this album all on my own. I didn't do it in no big studio. I just did it in my living room.
I was just going to ask you that. Did you record this all at home on your own?
Yeah, I recorded it right on my laptop on Pro Tools.
Nice.
Yeah.
See?
So,
And you're going to see more of this type of shit. You know, more music like what you're doing.
Well, my friend and I collaborate.
More radio shows like what Cruise Control and I do, you know?
Yeah, so, we literally do this we just do it from our home. And we don't have to worry about any kind of pressure or like what we have to say or kind of who we have to live up to. Or there's no sponsors pressuring us like, well, you're going to get off the air. No, we're not. We'll find a way for someone to listen to us. There's nothing you can do. You can't stop us. You can't stop us from being heard. So what are you going to do? Stop all the... We don't have YouTube. We'll send out... We'll zip our files up and send them out to your email. You can listen to our
exactly.
Shows, you
know? And Adam Carolla, for example, man, he revolutionized the podcasting industry in the sense because he was signed on with whatever radio station he was, and he didn't like what they were offering him, so he said, you know what, fuck you guys, I'll build a pirate ship, I'll do podcasting, and now it seems like everyone's doing that. Every big celebrity now has their own podcast. And it's this information exchange has become so big that these radio stations are all going to fold eventually because who the fuck listens to radio nowadays? Like terrestrial radio.
Unless you work in an office
or
you're
in the car or something. But even in the car, people put on their music and their Spotify and stuff. You know,
yeah,
exactly.
So exactly. Just plug the phones in and shit.
People only listen to radio when they don't have any other options, and that's about it. Otherwise, you know, we all got phones that can download all of this stuff or stream it or whatever, and it's given the power back to the consumer.
Right.
It sure is, man. So it'll turn your whole world around. Ha ha ha.
That's what it's going to do. It'll turn your whole world around.
Why don't we go into that? We'll be back in a few minutes. This is once again from Killed by Love, Daniel Jordan. Turned my whole world around, and we'll be back in just a few on the Nothing Sacred interview.
Bitches.
Resurrect would die, there's nothing left to prove, it's all left behind. The connection broke, we both ran out of steam, and in another life I might have been the man of your dreams. Is something wrong with me? Is something wrong with you? I can't seem to get it right no matter what I do. And after me, now I'm praying that you find the one, cause I'm searching for something I can't define to anyone. I never showed my cards, my feelings I'm trying to hide, but deep down I'm dying inside. My victories mean nothing if she isn't there. Love is war and believe me, all is fair. We had a list of things we planned to do. I still have the list and I'll still do it without you. I'll still do it without you. I'll still do it without you. If you came back, we could turn it around. You could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around, and you could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around. You could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around, and you could turn my whole world around. Traces of a spirit enter my body and fill my brain. I feel so lonely, but somehow I love the pain. It makes me feel good, like I'm riding a high. I created a world of only you and I heard a song that sent a chill through my spine. It reminded me of a time when you were mine. The lyrics hit a raw nerve, it cut like a knife. The same way you cut me out of your life. You beat me to the punch, I should've dumped you first. I used to be so cold, but I see you're even worse. Pacing around the house without shit to do. I started smoking again after I quit for you. I got addicted to a dangerous drug. It left me on my knees picking pieces out of the rug. It started out from a kiss and a hug. I never thought I'd be the one who's addicted to love. But if you came back, we could turn it around. You could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around, and you could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around. You could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around, and you could turn my whole world around. If you didn't know better, you think I'm doing alright, because I'm overcompensating for the pain in my life. There's been times I've been able to escape reality for a night or two, but it always comes back to me. The pain is defining, it made me change my path. And at times I wanna cry, I tell myself to laugh. I let you build up my confidence and tear it in holes, but the problem is the fact I gave you all the control. I'm pushing forward, finding the strength within. I fell down, I'm walking but I'm still limping. I won't stop loving and I won't become bitter. I dust myself off and get back up, cause I'm not a quitter. I'll bare my soul to the world and stop hiding, and get the fuck back in the ring and keep fighting. Executing my killers, conquering my demons. My only enemy on earth is weakness. If you came back, we could turn it around. You could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around, and you could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around. You could turn my whole world around. If you came back, we could turn it around, and you could turn my whole world around.
we smile without any style. We kiss all together wrong, no intention. We lie about each other's dreams. We live without each other, thinking what anyone would do without me and you. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. So hold on, here we go. Hold on to nothing we know. I feel so lonely. Way over here, you mentioned the time we were together. So long ago, well, I don't remember. All I know is it makes me feel good now. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. Only the lonely, only the lonely can play.
They say there's somebody for everybody. They tell me where's that somebody for me? I can't connect with anybody I see. It was us together, but in the end it's just me. At one time I could feel the power that the two of us shared in a world that's just ours. But it's all becoming an afterthought. We walked away from love the last time we fought. There's been times that I try to make it work with others, but I can't force myself to fall in love with another. And I'm sure somebody else stimulates your mind. Why does it seem so easy for you to find the promises we made at one time have died? But do you go to sleep at night satisfied? Because I love you still, and I hope you do, even if it isn't me who's holding you.
Only the lonely can play. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. Only the lonely, only the lonely can play.
Oh yes, bitches. And that was Daniel Jordan, Turn My World Around, off the Kill by Love album. And we're Jordan still, and Cruise Control is here, operating shit, keeping it all active. So man, let me ask you, was there a specific breakup that triggered off this album, or was it just sort of a collective over the years type thing that's built up and finally just burst?
Well, it was 3 major breakups over the course of the last 3 years that really did it. It was my divorce that started it, and then I had 2 relationships within those last 2 years that I took bits and pieces of each relationship and kind of created this one woman out of it. I mean, Red Hot Chili Peppers has a girl they created called Danny California. Atmosphere has a girl they created called Lucy, and this was kind of my version of that. So, turn my whole world around. It's funny. The first verse is about one girl. The second verse is about a completely different girl.
Oh, wow.
And then the third verse is more about myself. than anything.
Yeah. See, and it all sounds like the same chick, you know, like you're just
Yeah.
talking about one specific girl, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, like, you know, with music you can do that.
Yeah, I guess so. You can fool the listener.
Not
You know, one
no,
question I
wait,
want
wait,
to ask
wait,
you
one
is-
second. Before we go on, not necessarily fool the listener, because the listeners, that's the beauty of art. It's they can interpret it as they will, and it's actually right for that listener because that's what they're getting out of it. That's the beauty of it. So, anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true. But well, you know, I want to ask you too. You have a song on the album, and it's a chick covering the Motel song, "Only the Lonely." What's the deal with that?
Man, I was a really big fan of that song. This one chick that I talk about heavily on this album. The song "Out of My Head" is about this girl. Verse 2 on "Turn My World Around" is about this girl. Anyways, me and this girl, we really liked that song "Only the Lonely." She was a couple years older than me, and she was more into that '80s shit. And that was just one song we both agreed on. And then when we broke up, I started listening to that song heavy, man. Like every day I was listening to it. The Motels one, and the Motels came to town, but like less than a mile from where I lived. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. I don't know anybody that likes this band, but fuck it, I'm just gonna go.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you're still performing.
Yeah, I know. It was a trip, dude, and it was at this little tiny place. There was maybe 200 people there, which, I mean, you know, for a band that's platinum, like, you know, they're kind of on the downside of their career, but it was cool because I was, like, in the second row. So I could see the chicks sweat, you know? And they did Only the Lonely. They closed it out, and it was just such a beautiful experience that when I got home, I called up this girl that I know in the Bay Area, Stephanie, who, she doesn't like me to talk about this, but she's the sister of a very famous rapper and marijuana connoisseur in the Bay Area. Anyways.
Oh, just one. You won't say who it is, but just some.
I'm not
guy.
going to say, she got pissed because I said it in an interview and she made me have them take that shit off.
Oh, okay. No, we don't want that.
Maybe it'll come out eventually, but, you know. Anyways, I always knew she was talented. Me and this girl, we had been friends. We had a little bit of a fling at one time, and I kind of broke her heart on that I'm not the one type of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
that's, yeah, and man, and I felt horrible about it because she's a great person. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this girl a song. I'm going to have her sing on my album, but I'm going to give her her own song. Let her have the whole entire song. And it was kind of like a throwback to, like, remember when Esham used to have those albums like Bruce Wayne or Dead Flowers, and he'd have a song with just a girl singing in it, and he
Oh,
would
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then on the next track it'd be like Charlie Manson after some chick singing about love for like 4 minutes. So I kind of wanted to do a throwback and kind of like a nod to Esham, old school Esham shit that only like Esham fans would really get. So I put that song in there, and at the very end of the album, there's actually that song reprised. It's the same song, but then I have a verse, and I close it out, which you got to kind of fast forward past the end, about 10 minutes in, and then you'll hear it. But yeah, man, the song itself, I'd never done a cover before like that, and I didn't know how I could get it out there with stepping on toes and legalities and all that shit. But I was like, you know what, whatever. I put it out there, and I felt like it was a good way to break up the album into two parts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, wait, you're telling me, so after Turn My World Around, if you just sit and wait for, like, how long?
I think it comes in around, like, 6 or 7 minutes in. Turn My World Around, it's about, like, 10 minutes long. It's Only the Lonely. It's the same song, except in the instrumental breakdown on the version with her, I got a verse on there. And I kind of sum up the whole entire album on that one verse.
Fuck,
And
that's a
close
hidden
it out.
track, dude. I haven't even heard that. I thought Turn My World Around was it. Because, once it stops playing, I'm like, okay, that must have been the last track, And,
Yeah.
but fuck, all right, now you're going to make me, after this interview, go sit and listen.
Well, it'll be on here.
And I kind of threw it in like in the album. It says like track 12, Turn My World Around, track 13, ? So people are like, well, there isn't a track 13, but there is if you listen on it.
Now, did we just? I think I don't even know. We don't know yet because we're going to play this set. Did we just? I think it was on. It's 9 minutes and 30. So is it on? Is it included in what we just played? It might be.
Yeah, it's in there if you play the whole 9 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
it's
playing
there.
the whole thing, so we just that's one of the
So
benefits of doing
meaning
this.
I
So.
inadvertently
We just
gave
played
them
it.
that. I didn't
If you
know
just
that.
listened, you just heard it.
Shit. Wow. Okay. See, I didn't even know that because they'd have to. So they'll have to fast forward. I guess is what's going to have
Or
to
you can
happen.
just go back because we'll have of course links in the video to each song starting, so you guys can go back and check that out if you went through part of the song or missed that, you can go back and check that out too. So
Yeah.
so on this, so if you just want to go back and rewind for a second, we'll be here. You just come back to this part of the video.
That's crazy.
You learn something
I
new
didn't-
every day.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, man. Isn't that some shit? Okay. So, well,
Still fucking
so-
with people, still playing jokes on them, you know? You gotta fuck with them.
Gotta fuck with people.
of course. Hey, man, that wouldn't be Daniel Jordan if you weren't doing shit like that, you know?
Exactly.
So what are you up to now? So obviously you got this. When did you release this album?
I released it on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It just
okay.
came out.
That's appropriate.
Wow.
So, what are you up to now? Like, what's going on? You mentioned something earlier about
Punk band or something.
punk band or some other
Yeah.
things that you're doing, or what's going on with you right now?
Well, in like a week or so, I got a really big gig, South by Southwest in Austin with Blowfly, who just recently passed at the end of January. We're doing a tribute show. I'm performing Blowfly songs with his band, and there's going to be some very special guests there. They don't really want me to announce it yet, but if you're a fan of Rap-A-Lot Records, you should be there at this gig, because we're going to be
Really?
doing Blowfly tribute songs with some fucking legends. So it's going to be cool.
Oh,
And
shit.
that's it. That's at the crazy at White Horse. It's at White Horse, March 16th, Austin, Texas.
Okay, so if anybody's
Man.
listened to this before then, which we'll have this up, but definitely by the weekend, so it'll be time enough to get down there if you can, if you're in the area, check it out. So that's crazy. That's a lot of stuff going on with this. So this is obviously you're known more for your how do you mix it up, like when you play this stuff? Let's say you have like a show, and you've got people that are into your horrorcore stuff, but you got the new stuff you're pushing. Do you simply just play the new stuff and or do you mix it? How do you mix that together? Because it seems like it's a different type of music or different kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, and that's a great question. I have done a couple shows since I've done this album or been making it, and I'll throw it in there kind of like slick. I'll do something hard, and then I'll throw that shit in to make people think for a minute. And to be honest, the new shit, I was kind of like a little bit apprehensive at first to throw it in the mix because it's different, but it's been going over really well. So where like I'm starting to do shows where I'm doing more of this album and less of the wicked shit, and people are liking it even better.
Yeah, well, because you can't really deny. I mean, it'd be kind of freaky if more people related to horrorcore than actual stuff that actually applies to everyone's life. Hey, oh, fucking a corpse, I love that. Screw that whole philosophical stuff.
Well, there are people like that, though.
Yeah, my whole stage show has kind of evolved too, where I was notorious for being just a wild performer. Clothes would come off, fights would happen, bones would break. I'd be stage diving, doing wild shit. It was just a part of my whole aura back in the day. But now as I've kind of grown older, I've more evolved with it, where I've kind of had more of a laid back kind of performance. But I'll show up dressed to the nines, looking like fucking Pete Nice in 1989. Just on some smooth shit. And I'm kind of rocking a smooth style now, on some pimp shit. It's been going over really well. So I'm kind of excited to see where it takes me. I didn't plan on it, but this album's been kind of turning me into a little bit of a sex symbol, I think. So I'm just going with it.
You got the
shit.
people going, oh, he's so deep.
Yeah,
his
I've been
heart
more-
breaks. I just want to. Oh God, I just want to hold him tonight. Come on, why don't you just cuddle later, and you can relieve your pain on me.
The irony of having an album about inadequacy and breakups and woman trouble has been doing me a lot of favors in the woman department since I've released it.
And that's what's so crazy too. It seems like women like to see you at your lowest. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they love it. They eat it up. They love a fixer upper.
Oh, because
They
you
love
get
somebody
they get to
that's
pull
I
you
can
up.
change him. Yeah, they think they can change me, or they just want to be attached to that darkness. It's a little
Yeah,
mysterious
they are
to
the
them.
lighthouse while you are the ship at sea trying to find the shore. and their bright
Yeah,
beacon in the corners is guiding you toward better times, and you know.
Dude, I think you should just sample that little part right there that Cruise Control just said. You could use it on the album.
Yeah, right.
Because it's funny, or even the "I'm the only one." I'm not the one. You're not the one. Well, you're not gonna tell me you're not the one. So now you sing that, and they get more determined to get.
That's true
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like I'll change his mind. Or
See,
something.
now we know that. Now I know the ulterior motive. He's like, I'm gonna get a lot of shit. I'm gonna get a lot of fucking ass from this stuff here.
You already know.
Bear my shit, man, and they're gonna love this stuff, man. So
Hey, that's why
I mean,
Luther
like-
Vandross always sang about breaking up and shit like that.
Exactly.
You know?
Even though it is disputed whether he liked dudes or girls, but I mean, it worked for him. Whatever he got, I'm sure he got plenty of.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Luther Vandross, he should have mix it up too. He should have been like doing some horrorcore like soul, like maybe.
Oh, hey, that would have been
Yeah,
nice.
You know what's funny? Speaking of Luther Vandross, David Bowie was the one that discovered him. You know that?
Really? No, I didn't know that. Actually.
Yeah. David Bowie's album Young Americans he did in the 70s, which had Fame on it. It was really big for having that song Fame. Like Luther
Yeah.
Vandross was on every track on that album as a backup singer.
Whoa,
And that was his first break.
that's history.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Speaking of history, you did tell me off the air you got to perform with Blowfly before he died, and how was that?
Man, I got to perform with Blowfly for many years. His whole camp has been like extended family to me, but Blowfly was an absolute legend. He was such a legend that when Blowfly was going through some tax troubles about a year or two ago, he decided to put on a benefit tour. And Too Short and Del the Funky Homo Sapien came and headlined that tour for free to help Blowfly get through his tax problems. And he brought me on that. Like, they extended the olive branch to me. So I got to basically be on a tour with Blowfly, Too Short, and Del. Like, how fucking badass is that?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And Blowfly, man, like, this was a year ago. This was, it was like December of 2014. And he'd be dead within a year and a couple months. Him being 76 years old, basically, this is his last year in the game. He still had the energy to go up on stage and perform for an hour every night. And I was just in awe. Like, anytime I ever wanted to skip a gig because I was feeling a certain way, looking at that man against all odds go up on stage and give his all and perform, man, that was inspiring.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Jeez.
76. You can't fuck with that. That is kind of like a new goalpost. Like, man, I got a cold.
Yeah.
No, this guy's 76. He's got.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got cancer. He's not doing good. His knees are shot. He's an old man. He's up there rocking shows. And I'm like, whoa. These cats wish that they could have a quarter of the career Blowfly had and to keep going even into his 70s. It's a trip.
That's
he probably
true.
knows that nothing lasts forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up, man.
Yeah.
Rest in
He
peace,
now does.
Blowfly, man. He was a really good person, man. He was the sweetest, most genuine person on earth. And if you were ever in the presence of him, he made you happy because this guy was nonstop. He would always be telling jokes, always, no matter how he was feeling. He always wanted to make everybody around him laugh. I never met nobody like that.
Wow, that's pretty.
Crazy.
Now we got one more song for you tonight. A little bit about this one. This is kind of the most, to me, this song is in a way, the title is it's everything. Everybody's been defeated, and it's kind of a little bit deeper in some ways, or a little bit less like straightforward in terms of in some ways. Like what is this about, and what do you? I know you said it's like you mentioned before, like driving like a long drive. You're taking us with you, but what is this like?
Yeah.
What's the really heart of this song about?
Well, Everybody's Been Defeated was the first song I did for this album. The very first song I did for it. And I was going through a lot of things. That a lot had to do with my divorce and post-divorce mainly, and just evaluating my life at the time. And I wanted to create something that hits you in the core. Like I went inside of your mind and planted my flag and let you know that I'm inside of your head. And by doing that, I had to go inside of my head. And I wanted the song to feel like you were on a ride, an emotional ride that like we went on a cross-country trip, and I'm there right with you, sitting passenger seat through the song. And I wanted you to feel at the end of that song like you had been through something like I brought your emotions high, low, peaks and valleys. And after that song, you felt like you just got done working out, like you just had sex, like you needed a cigarette, where you just sit in it for a minute. You just sit in your sweat and your exhaustion and just chill. Like, whoa! I just experienced a lifetime's worth of emotion in one song.
Yeah, that hook is or that opening. I can't get it in my head. It's really good. So,
Yeah.
I really like it. So, and definitely kind of hypnotic too, in a way. Like it kind of draws you in. So
that whole part was heavily inspired by The Cure, by this song called "Homesick" by The Cure. This song "Homesick," it has this whole build up in the beginning with this guitar solo by Robert Smith, and it's just so atmospheric and hypnotic, and that you feel like you're on some sort of drug, or even just you're feeling some sort of like ecstatic feeling. And through that, my friend Sarah, who's a guitar player, she laid down that guitar part on it and just killed it.
I was just going to ask you who's playing guitar on that, but I guess that's your friend, huh?
Yeah, this girl Sarah Baldwin out in California, who I haven't really talked to her much since then. Like, we had a little bit of a falling out, nothing bad, but just like it is what it is. She was going through some relationship shit, and she wasn't responding to emails or whatever. So I was like, whatever. But I hit her up after I got this album released, and I told her, like, yo, I give you credit, and I'll send you some copies. She didn't hit me back, but it's all good. Whatever. She'll be immortalized in that song, though, forever. So,
Wow.
hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Who knows, man? I'd love for her to, like, kind of, like, get her mind right in whatever she's got going on and get back to work, and maybe we can make some more shit, because she's very talented.
Sarah, get at him.
So let's listen to
Yes,
this.
Sarah.
I want to thank you once again, Daniel, for coming on.
You know what? Wait, one thing, man, real quick. Where can people get your music?
I was gonna go for that. Yeah, but go ahead. You got it first.
You can get my album on Amazon, iTunes, my website. You can get it directly from me at itsdanieljordan.com or killdanieljordan.com, and you can buy it straight from there.
Okay.
And you'll know that the money is going directly into my pocket.
There'll be a link underneath this in the description of the video, so click on that if you want more information. Want to check out the album? We'll have a link there. We'll link. Which one would you prefer? It's Daniel Jordan or Kill Dan? Either one?
Well, they both redirect to the same site, so either one.
Okay, we'll do Kill Daniel Jordan just because we can't be too nice and positive and fluffy on this.
Of course not.
Exactly.
Nothing sacred. So we'll put that in there. But thank you once again. We're going to close this out with Everybody's Been Defeated, and I'm Cruise Control,
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
and
That's the story.
oh wait, actually wait, and
I'm Daniel Jordan.
and that's the story there,
sorry, man.
and that's the story there,
It's all good.
bitches. Hey,
we
first
all do
time
this
run.
shit.
Thanks again for inaugural the Nothing Sacred interview with Daniel Jordan. Thanks again. Here's Everybody's Been Defeated off the album Killed by Love. Go out and check it out. Link down below.
Yeah.
Bitches. Later.
Hell yeah.
Throughout all of my photo albums, cause memories I'm no longer a part of became the outcome. Pictures of people in my past who either tore my heart apart or started friendships that didn't last. I didn't ask for any of this emptiness and broken promises and false confidence ever since we kissed. From the X1 to the next one, I'm left a mess. From the vortex that I receive checks from. And you can purchase my pain for an ornament, and the click of the button buys you the things that I'm hoarded with. And maybe you could relate and feel the same too, but my job's to make you feel my pain, so I blame you. As an emotional wreck, I gain acceptance with thoughts and perceptions of very essence of false friendships. Cause to them I'm just a character, you're doomed to be the elephant in the room when everybody stares at you, but you don't care about my real feelings. I'm left with sores from whores behind closed doors under hotel ceilings. My whole life I thought 30 was old, and now my elders call me parent, all my peers are grown, and this is all the shit I'm dealing with. I stopped getting carded at the store, but still I feel like a kid. I try my best to blend in, but I couldn't conform, cause everybody's been defeated since the day they were born. Dig it. It's real life. Everybody's been defeated since the day they were born, and everybody's been defeated since the day they were born. Everybody's been defeated since the day they were born, and everybody's been defeated since the day they were born. My fascination of past relations fuel my imagination, and how you reject a piece of your soul during ejaculation. A constant battle is sex versus masturbation. How one invests emotions, the other promotes procrastination. I took a detour on the path of righteousness, living reckless. Shit, I'm even driving while I'm writing this, cause on the road you got time to think. My mind's a machine gun on a line sheet combined with ink. With the pain I can't describe, I'm feeling trapped inside this personal prison with all the things that I'm prescribed. Shit, remember the time that you made me breakfast, now you're on the checklist of exes I had sex with, the broken exes. You stole my soul with the French kiss, so fuck a text, bitch. And by the way, I broke your necklace. I haven't thought about you or talked about you in a minute. The days turn into years and not one of us benefited. In spite could last lifetimes and none of us win. We expected too much of each other. Shit, we're supposed to be friends. And time passed by and now we're both aging. You died in my heart, but the memories are still remaining. You're just a reflection of all my childhood pain. Sitting on the porch waiting for my father who never came. I created a fantasy world that he was always present in. It taught me how to be a man so I don't feel feminine. I'm ashamed of all the feelings inside I kept hid. I was forced to be the man of the house, I was never a kid. But fuck it, I don't need a sympathy buddy. I'm just digging up the past like a psychological study. I'm waiting for the miracle to come, you know, the grand finale. These doctors got these drugs living my life without me, like I'm a passenger in my own life, I'm not steering. There's too many things about the world that I'm fearing, like I'm a prisoner in my own brain. I'm in it alone, I was born alone and things won't change. Jealousy fills me when I see the things I never had. Maybe some self-esteem and a happy home with a mom and dad. My mom never wanted anything for too long. As a child she loved me, but when I was grown I had to get gone. And though my life is torn, I got no time to mourn, cause everybody's been defeated since the day they were born. Yeah, and everybody's been defeated since the day they were born. And everybody's been defeated. And though my life is torn, I got no time to mourn, cause everybody's been defeated since the day they were born. And though my life is torn, I got no time to mourn, cause everybody's been defeated since the day they were born.